Hello everyone, welcome back to today's operating system class. In this video we are going to learn about kernel mode in operating system. Okay. What is kernel mode? In an operating system, kernel mode is the mode in which the operating system runs. It is also called privilege mode or system mode. In this mode, the program has full access to hardware, memory and all system resources. Only the operating system and trusted code can run in kernel mode. Okay, see. Kernel mode is also called privilege mode or system mode. Okay. So this is the mode in which the operating system itself runs. Okay. So kernel mode is also called privilege mode. Okay. Privilege or system mode. Okay. System mode. So in this mode, a program has complete control over the computer. Okay. So it can directly access hardware, memory and all system resources. Okay. So the operating system code, devices driver and trusted programs can run in kernel mode. Okay. Only the operating system code, device drivers and trusted programs can run in kernel mode. Operating system code, device driver, and trusted program. Okay, trusted programs can run in kernel mode. See, so why do we need kernel mode? Kernel mode is required because the OS needs to control hardware like CPU, disk, memory, printer, etc. Execute privilege instructions that are not safe for normal applications. Handle system calls made by programs running in user mode. Without kernel mode, the operating system cannot manage the computer's resources. See, like think about it, like the operating system needs to manage your CPU. Okay, operating system needs to manage your CPU, memory, disk, printers and other hardware. Okay, other hardware. So normal applications cannot do this directly because it would be unsafe. Okay, so that's why we need kernel mode. It allows the OS perform critical privilege operations. Okay, like managing memory, accessing devices, okay, and executing system calls made by user programs. Executing system calls made by user programs. Okay. Now see characteristics of kernel mode. Full access to hardware and memory, can execute privilege instructions like I/O operations, memory management, run trusted code like device drivers, interrupt handlers, and OS services. If an error happens in kernel mode, the entire system can crash This is called a kernel panic. See, characteristics of kernel mode. See, let's list some key points. Okay, so first one is programs in kernel mode have unrestricted access to hardware and memory. Hardware and memory. Okay, hardware and memory. It can run privilege instructions, okay, like controlling IO devices. Only trusted code runs in kernel mode. Only trusted code runs in kernel mode, like the operating system and device drivers. Okay, if something goes wrong in kernel mode, the entire system can crash. This crash is called a kernel panic. Okay, kernel panic. Okay, real life analogy. Think of a school principal. The principal has access to every classroom, staff room, office, and records. Unlike students user mode, the principal has full authority. But if the principal makes a mistake, the whole school is affected. Similarly, kernel mode has full power but also full responsibility. See, think of a school principal. Okay, so students in the school can only stay in classrooms and use limited facilities. Okay, so they are like user mode programs. Okay, user mode programs. User mode programs. Okay, so but the principal has access everywhere. Okay, in classrooms, offices, staff rooms, records, everything. Okay, so now if a student makes a mistake, only that student is affected. But if the principal makes a mistake, the whole school suffers. Okay, so this is exactly how kernel mode works. Full power but also full risk. Okay, see example. Suppose a program in user mode wants to print a document. It makes a system call. The operating system switches to kernel mode. In kernel mode, the operating system communicates with the printer hardware and sends the document to be printed. Then it switches back to user mode. See, suppose you want to print a document. Okay, so first the program you are using in user mode. Okay, it cannot directly talk to the printer hardware. Okay, so it makes a system call to the OS. Okay, so the OS switches into kernel mode, sends the document to the printer, and then comes back to user mode. Okay, so this switching ensures both safety and proper control. Okay, difference user mode versus kernel mode. User mode restricted runs applications safely, cannot directly access hardware. Kernel mode full access, runs the OS, executes privileged instructions. See, in user mode runs normal applications, has restricted access, and it is safe. Okay, in kernel mode runs the operating system, has full access, and can execute privileged instructions. Okay, so basically kernel mode is the execution mode where the operating system runs with complete control over the computer. Okay, like it handles system calls, manages resources, and executes critical instructions. Okay, so that's all for today's explanation of kernel mode in operating system. Thank you.